everyone! Welcome back to another virtual story time. I'm Miss Nicole here in the courtyard of the garden, and this week in our free virtual summer camp, our theme for beginning botanists is Garden Galore, which is all about the different types of gardening that you can do. So today's story, I chose 2 Old Potatoes and Me. I chose this because it's about growing a vegetable garden. Let's get started. Last spring at my dad's house, I found 2 old potatoes in the back of the cupboard. They were so old, sprouts were growing from their eyes. Have you ever seen sprouts start to grow on your potatoes at home? Yeah, me too. Gross! I tossed them in the trash. Wait, Dad said, I think we can grow new potatoes with those. I'll call your grandpa, he'll know. After talking with Grandpa, Dad and I took the potatoes to the sunniest spot in the garden. We dug, we picked out rocks, we raked the soil smooth. Dad carefully cut the potatoes into 9 pieces with his jackknife. I made sure each piece had at least 1 yellow sprout. Dad dug 9 small holes. I put a piece of potato with the eye facing up in each hole. Then I covered them with dirt to make little hills. Dad got the hose and I watered gently. Do you think they'll be able to grow new potatoes from these old ones? Let's find out. In May, green plants poked up, like caterpillars unfolding. We got down on our knees and picked weeds. We shoveled compost onto each hill. Won't that smother the plants? No, they'll grow through it. Are we really going to get new potatoes from old potatoes? I think so, said Dad. In June, the plants grew bigger. Violet flowers blossomed, and we added more compost. When we watered, I accidentally sprayed Dad with the hose. He laughed and sprayed me back. In July, when the plants were as tall as my waist, we picked potato beetles off the leaves. I dropped them in the pail of soapy water. We have to do this, Dad said. Otherwise, the bugs will eat the leaves and the potatoes won't grow. In August, some of the plants turned brown and withered. Are they dead? No, said Dad. The potatoes are growing underground. Did you know that potatoes grow underground? Are you sure? I hope so. That's what your grandpa said. We weeded, we watered, we waited. Now, on a cool September day, Dad and I sit on the bench in front of the garden. How's your bedroom at your mom's house coming, Dad asked. Good, Mom and I painted it periwinkle. Periwinkle? I like that color. I bet it looks good. You can see it on Friday when you pick me up. Okay, Dad says, it'll be Periwinkle Friday. We get up and walk to the garden. What's your favorite way to eat potatoes? Dad asks. Mashed, with lots of butter and a sprinkle of nutmeg for good luck. What's your favorite way to eat potatoes? My favorite way is as French fries. That's my favorite too. Let's see what's under the hills. Dad gets the garden fork from the shed, and I carry the big bucket. Dad digs at the first hill. Nothing but dirt. He digs again. More dirt. After all that work, I say, Dad hands me the fork. You try. I dig deep. I lift the fork and see 7 gold shapes. Potatoes, I shout. Look at those spuds, Dad says. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I bend down, pick up a potato, rub the dirt off its skin, and put it in the bucket. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4, 5 potato, 6 potato, 7 potato, more. Each hill has lots of potatoes. Some are small, some are big, and some have funny faces. 51 potato, 52 potato, 53 potato, 54, 55 potato, 56 potato, 57 potato, more. I count 67 and our bucket is overflowing. That's a lot of potatoes. All this from 2 old potatoes. Yes, Dad rubs my head. Ready to dig into those potatoes you grew? Yeah, I'm hungry. And that's the end. Isn't that a fun story about repurposing old kitchen scraps and growing a new garden? That's something that you could try even at home. Now for our craft today, we're actually going to use an old potato to make a stamp. So, all you need is a potato, some paint, some scissors, and paper. So I had a potato, I cut it in half, and then I cut some shapes out the top. I wanted mine to look like a flower, almost like a tulip. And this is the painting I made. Some flowers. So once I cut the shape I wanted, I dipped it in paint, and then I put it right onto the paper like a stamp. So you can try this at home with potatoes, and you can also do it with apples and other fruits and vegetables as well. It's pretty simple. You can find the tutorial on our Google Classroom, our virtual living lab, by registering for free at Keywest.garden/education. You can also cut your potato into any shape you would like to make any stamps. I just made mine look like a flower. For our activity today, we have a counting activity. So you can find this worksheet to print out online, but for story time purposes, I just have a big whiteboard. So it's a counting fruits and vegetables activity. So let's see, I have tomatoes here. Let's count. 1, 2. So I'm going to put the number 2. We have 2 tomatoes. And here I have some carrots. Let's count. 1, 2, 3. 3 carrots. So you can find the worksheet online, which is also a coloring page as well. Thanks for joining me for this week's story time in our Beginning Botanist free virtual summer camp. And this week's theme was Garden Galore. I hope to see you next week for Planting Party.